YouTube and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a pretty simple honey Dijon pork tenderloin. Now, my grocery store, I can always find pork or pork tenderloin specifically fairly cheap, and whenever I can make a pretty delicious tasting meal on the cheap, I'm always excited. This one starts out with a marinade. Now, I like to marinate this overnight, but at least an hour, I would say. The longer you let it go, the better it's gonna be. I have 1 tablespoon of rosemary, 1 tablespoon of thyme, and 1 tablespoon of onion powder. And I'm just gonna put that right into one of those airtight Ziploc bags. Now I also have 3 tablespoons of garlic. Let me grab my little mixer here. And this garlic is just like the pieces that you can buy in the jar at the grocery store. I go through garlic so much that peeling garlic all the time gets to be a hassle, so that's what I like to use. Now I also have 1 teaspoon of the Worcestershire sauce. I have 3 tablespoons of the honey Dijon mustard. Doesn't have to be the fancy stuff. That's okay, we're not fancy around here. So that was 1, 2, and 3. The mustard's gonna really, it's gonna flavor it, but it's also gonna make your pork tenderloin even more tender. Okay, I also have 1/3 cup of honey. Now I don't have any more of my spray, my cooking spray, but I would normally spray my measuring cup down first, and then the honey just kind of slides out of there. So if you're looking for a quick tip, that is it. Okay, that's my 1/3 cup of honey. And then I have also a 1/3 cup of soy sauce. There's my soy sauce, I'm sorry. Now this is the low sodium soy sauce. I wouldn't sweat too much if you don't have the low sodium, maybe just add a little less. I feel like the soy sauce kind of gives it a rich flavor. All right. And then I have 3 tablespoons of my olive oil. This will help it kind of all adhere together. And then salt and pepper to your liking. Now remember that soy sauce is in there, and so is the Dijon, so I wouldn't go overly crazy with the salt. I need some more black peppercorns. I think I need to add that to my list. All right, now I'm just gonna grab my pork tenderloin. Now admittedly, I got the wrong one. I don't normally get the one that's kind of split. I usually get the one that's whole. That's okay, we're gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna gently kind of lift up my tenderloin, stick it right in my bag, wash my hands real quick. Okay. Now, zip up my bag. I like to do the marinades in a bag. I find that it's easier cleanup, and the marinade actually sits better in whatever meat you're marinating. Just kind of give this a good toss. You want all of those flavors to kind of incorporate with the meat. And like I said, the longer you can let this rest, the better. The more time that all of those ingredients are gonna have time to kind of hang out with that tenderloin and make it pretty tasty. All right, this is gonna go in my fridge. Like I said, I prefer it overnight. If you're rushed on time, 45 minutes to an hour, no less than 45 minutes though, to give it a fair chance to kind of get all them flavors in. I truthfully don't even have overnight. I have a few hours. It's the AM, and we are obviously not gonna eat till the PM, so this is gonna go in my fridge for probably about, 6 hours or so. I will see you when it's time to take it out. Okay guys, I'm back. My tenderloin has been marinating in the refrigerator for, well, all morning really. I took it out of the fridge about 45 minutes ago just to kind of, maybe more like a half an hour ago, just to kind of get it so it's not quite so cold before it goes right into the oven. At this point, I just have, what is this, a 9x13 baking dish, and I've lined it with foil simply because I don't want to have to work really hard to scrub this up later. There is honey in there, so obviously anytime you kind of heat up anything sweet, the sugars in there can really get stuck to that glass pan, and frankly, I just don't feel like messing with it tonight. So I lined it with foil. I'm going to take out my pork tenderloin. I'm just gonna dump all of it, including all of that marinade, right on top. Stick this in the sink. Grab my tongs. Whoops. And I'm just gonna kind of, like I said, I would have normally bought just a full pork tenderloin, but this one was split. I did not realize that at the grocery store. That's all right. We're gonna work with it. I normally just go ahead and grab one that is a whole pork tenderloin. I'm gonna pop this in a preheated 425 degree oven, and every 15 minutes I'm going to turn it for a total of 45 minutes. So that's 3 times turning it, so it kind of has room to cook evenly on all sides. Now pork, obviously can make you sick if it's not cooked properly. You're gonna wanna, I looked it up. Medium rare pork tenderloin is 145 internal temperature, and a medium is 160. So grab your meat thermometers, kind of give it a poke, whatever you guys like it. I like mine more on the medium to done side with pork. Now beef is another story. I like that medium rare. However, this is pork, and I definitely want to make sure this is cooked through. So like I said, 425, 15 minutes flip, 15 minutes flip, 15 minutes for a total of 45 minutes, flipping every 15. So I will bring you back when this guy gets out of the oven. Okay, my pork tenderloins have cooked 15 minutes flipping, and then 45 minutes constantly, like total time all the way through. I know that can be a little confusing. I'll try to write that in the description box below, but whenever I cook my pork tenderloins, no matter what seasoning or flavoring I make them, those are the cook times, and they end up being nice and tender, juicy all the time. I'm gonna cover these with foil and let them just kind of hang out and rest for about 10 minutes. Anytime you're cooking a roast, you want to be able to, this is a roast, it's a tenderloin, but it's a thicker cut of meat. You're gonna want the juices to redistribute in there before you cut into them. But that is it. That is my honey Dijon pork tenderloin, and like I said, I kind of goofed. I got the ones that split down the middle, but that's all right. I'm gonna work with it. If you try this, you could either do it like this, or you could get the one large piece of pork tenderloin. And again, those temperatures for medium rare, it's 145. And for a medium, it's 160 internal temperature. It's always a good idea whenever you're cooking with pork to have a meat thermometer on hand, so that way everything's cooked all the way through. All right, that is it. If you guys like today's video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like what I do here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.